Hi, back with another newsletter here. So the quote this week is, "He's the best physician that knows the worthlessness of most medicines." And again, I think that's so true because a lot of times, like I see from a physio standpoint, that people come into me and they've just been given like ibuprofen for like an anti-inflammatory, or they're on diaphene, and these things aren't fixing the cause of the problem. They're actually just masking pain so that you can continue to do the bad things or continue to like irritate an area. And eventually with diaphene it can like start ripping up your stomach a little bit more. um and you can also see that with a lot of other things. Like if we fix the cause of the problems, we wouldn't have as much like type 2 diabetes or heart conditions. But we're very poor as humans to forward plan or like delay gratification or to think in the future. As long as it feels all right today, we're kind of happy enough to go along with it rather than get a good exercise program to go. Because like even from my standpoint, like ibuprofen, or they're just, you may as well just take paracetamol. There's nothing to, like for any anti-inflammatory thing. The inflammatory process in the healing goes 4 days. So once you're on day 5, absolutely no need for the anti-inflammatories. Take paracetamol or a painkiller if you need to, but really try fix the actual problem, not just mask the pain and continue to do the things that are causing the pain. Okay, it's just something that I see and I'm always like just worried about. So I do actually think that's so true, that physicians or doctors should be looking at, getting things fixed more than trying to just mask the pain and give people just pills to keep them going for a while longer. The next one is sleep and injury in young athletes. And I think this would be, so this was a systematic review where they looked at all the studies, but I think a lot of these would like be the same for people of any age. And as you know, I'm a massive fan of sleep, and naps. Really think it's important. So I'm just going to talk through this and maybe talk a few recommendations then. So what they found is Luke et al. In 2011 found that the number of fatigue-related injuries was higher when athletes' normal sleep duration was less than 6 hours per night. Another study found that the risk of injury increased by 110% when athletes usually sleep less than 8 hours per night. Rosen et al. 2017 in 340 elite athletes found that when a minimum of 8 hours of sleep was obtained, injury risk was reduced by 61%. Van Rosen found that sleep volume, the amount of sleep you were getting decreased in the 4 weeks prior to an injury, there was an increased risk of injury. Okay, so if it changed. So again, it just shows the importance of sleep in general. I say a few things would be to stop using your phone an hour before bed, have lamps on rather than overhead lights, have lamps on rather than overhead lights. Try read to just calm you down, like a fiction book. Then also, I'm now like, if you have teenagers, take their phones off them going to bed. Like I'm charging my phone in a different room and I just have a watch to set an alarm if I need it, and it's been really, really beneficial. It's just helped me. Before, if I woke up early, I checked the time and I might then go on my phone and scroll. I was always good in the nighttime, but you could see that with people who might scroll, and all of a sudden half an hour has passed and you're still getting that serotonin hit. So have like my Garmin has a stopwatch on it now, and that's waking me up fine, and I can check the time during the night just to see what time it is. And what I'm not doing then is like scrolling, wasting half an hour. I either go back to sleep or I actually just get up. So there are some good tips, and again, there is that link between injury and sleep. Okay, the next section then is training section, is the 10 things to look for in a training partner. And I'm really blessed that like I have like 5 guys like Brian Maher, Toss Hayes, James Edingham, and then 2 guys who are going to America, but Peter Lynch or Shane McAvoy for runs. And like we always say, like a run shared is a run halved. It really feels like half the time if you have someone to train with. But it's important that you make sure that you have someone who is a right fit. So I've come up with a few. The first one is that they're supportive, not just competitive. think that's important. You'll get some people, and if you're doing a training session together, they won't take any of the reps, but on the last rep they'll like absolutely tank it, just so they can say like, oh, I bet the crap out of them in the last rep. You want people that are taking reps in the middle, you're helping each other, and there's not a big massive competition. If someone in a training session is leading the last rep, generally what I will do is like whoever's leading the last rep, they'll finish in the front of the last rep. Or if they were slower, you would take it from the start or take him early. You never like, a big bad sign for a training partner would be someone in the last 100 meters would sprint past you. It's like, come on, like it's training, it should be supportive. If they've led it all, even if I was feeling unbelievable, I would just stay behind them. I wouldn't pass someone out in the last 100. I would either say to them, I'm feeling really good, I'll take the last one and go hard. And I've been probably doing that earlier in the session, or I just stay in behind them. Second is they're non-judgmental. Obviously when you're running, like you might have to go to the toilet unexpectedly or spit or whatever else, so you want someone who kind of can roll with some of the etiquette of running. They got good chat, like again, someone that you can enjoy a conversation with makes a massive difference on a run. Number 4 is that they're reliable. They'll turn up. You can count on them to turn up. They're not changing at last minute, and that's really important, that you can kind of, someone's there and they're going to be there. The next one is they're slightly faster than you. They don't need to be slightly faster than you, really. They can be slightly slower than you, but they're just matched evenly enough. Like, now, depends. Like, I could actually warm up with someone, say, 2 minutes or a minute a mile slower than me in a warm up for a session, because it's a really easy jog. But in general, like, you want to be at least within they're half a minute to, like, if it's a minute slower than you or a minute faster than you, that's probably going to be too much of a mismatch, unless you're both happy to do a recovery run at whatever the slower pace is. Sometimes if they're just too slow, it's just hard to run with people that aren't close enough to your own level. Okay, the next one then is they're willing to be flexible. And again, you need a bit of give and take. Like, with our group, sometimes I like to go early. Sometimes I have, like, Brian's a farmer, so he's busy in the morning, so we have to wait a little bit longer. So you need people that can adapt and kind of roll with the punches, that it won't be always set time, that if someone has to collect kids or do something, you don't mind waiting for them every so often, or they don't mind waiting for you. If you have someone that's, like, you can run with someone who's rigid, but just you'll have to know, like, they're in their schedule, and that's fine. And you might just have different training partners then, and if it suits, it suits. And the kind of link with that is your training times are compatible. Obviously, like, I like training in the morning, so I'm not generally going to try and find a training partner who can only train at night, because I don't really like, unless Pilates, going to it. I don't like running. If I can get my run done in the morning and my work done in the morning, I'm much happier. The next one then is that they're positive influence. You want someone who, they're generally positive. Like, there's a saying where it's like, people either fill your bucket or drain your bucket. And the worst type of people are the people who you don't really know they're draining your bucket. It's a drip, drip, drip. Okay, and it's the same, like, all the guys in ours, generally positive, thinking about future races, talking it up. If someone's had a bad race, of course it's important that they chat about it and get over that disappointment. But again, we're not like wallowing in it with them. We kind of generally, say, look, there's another race, try get them to focus on the positives. There's always a few positives to take, and there's always another race to look forward to. That's the beauty of running. So if you feel someone's like training you, maybe there's someone not to be running with all the time. The next one then, number 9, is that they're honest. They'll tell you when, I'm doing an easy run today, and then do that. Or if they're saying, I'm going steady, you're prepared for that. Or they have a session on, they want to make their goals clear. So if it's obvious that this is going to be a steady, harder run, that's fine. If it's a recovery run, what you don't want is someone who says, I'm going to go easy today, and then they're picking it up the whole time, and you're like, I thought we were going easy. Or someone who you're saying you're going to go steady, and they're like, yeah, I want to go steady as well, and then they're complaining to you about it's too fast. It's like, okay, well, this is where we're at today, I told you. So you need to lay it out, like, and that's for you as well, that you need to lay out what you're doing each day, and then let the people know before you go for a run. It's kind of unfair to say, oh, I'll just do an easy run, but you know that you're actually going to hit like a kind of a steady-ish run. And then great thing about training partners is they get to know you well. Like as I said, a run shared is a run halved. If there's stressful times, you can have someone to chat to. Like running is brilliant anyway on your own, just to clear your head. And if you have someone to chat to, you can resolve a lot of things that you weren't really sure of. Okay, the next one then on the health section is related to what mattress is right for you. Okay, I wrote this, we were looking at a mattress and we went around. I would recommend if you are looking for a mattress, take your time. Generally, they say with mattresses, medium to firm are best. Get on the freaking mattress in the shop. Like, don't be afraid. You'll generally know by the feel of the mattress when you're on it. You know, like they're never going to see you again. Like it's a big purchase. So we spent a lot of money on a mattress. It's funny, we spent way more on our mattress than our couch, and the one was saying that's unusual. But it's like, look, we're going to be in the mattress way more than we're going to be on the couch. But yeah, so it's important to get a good mattress. Generally, they say medium to firm seem to be best. But I think as well, lie on it. Your general level of comfort, you'll know then. Okay. So basically, several studies have measured the difference between mattresses, including a physiotherapy-led study that looked at two factors: spinal distortion and maximal pressure. Researchers concluded that two goals of a mattress were to exhibit low maximum pressures and little spinal distortion. Okay, so that's why you want a kind of firm mattress. You don't want to kind of sink into it. You want one that is like mid to firm. And again, just judge it. A lot of times with mattresses, if you judge it off your comfort levels, but mid to firm with good distribution, so there's not like it's well supported, so either foam or there's a lot of springs to support. Okay, so it should distribute your weight evenly, be medium firm in density, and then not be changing the spine. So you should be sinking into the mattress. So I always like pushing on the side. You shouldn't bend a lot, like, okay. And again, spend a decent bit on a mattress. You're gonna be in it a lot, and get on the freaking things. People looking at it, yeah, it looks like a good mattress. On you go, sleep on it, check what it's like. Okay, good. And again, that's the end of this this newsletter this time, guys. If you hear someone who is wanting a bit more structure in their training or wants to try something new, maybe mention sports Pilates to them. Or if they're doing like longer training now, sports Pilates is great to help rebalance their body. A lot of people aren't aware of this type of course, so recommend it. They can try a free trial, completely free, for a week, see if they like it. And or if you someone who hasn't done it before, can go to either email us at everardpilates@gmail.com or just go to everardpilates.com and you can sign up for a free trial there. Okay, I hope you enjoy that.